Alright guys, we are starting the Retro Game Show live here on Mixer and Twitch. If you're joining us, welcome. We are getting ready to play through our second and third episodes of Super Metroid live here. Of course, you can catch it on youtube.com/bossrushgames or bossrushgames.com after this episode is done here. So, how's it going, Ed? Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, cool. Let's do it. Let's do it. Where are we? What's happening? What did we just beat the really tall, scary dinosaur-looking guy, right? What's his name?
Yes. I think it starts with a K.
Krillin?
Cray?
Crane?
Cray?
Cray?
I think so.
Crayola? Cray? Crazy? I don't know. So we're gonna play probably about an hour-ish of this game, right? I think is maybe an hour and 15 minutes-ish. It depends.
Yes.
But man, this game looks great on my 55-inch TV in my office. Just throwing that out there.
Nice. Okay, so
what are we trying to do here now? How do you even know that's there?
I played this game multiple times. So there's our rooms that have dots in them. That means they got something secret in them. So you just gotta find the secret to where they are at. Okay, so I need to go back.
Super fun time, Super Metroid. Why does this not say Super Metroid? Why does it still say Nintendo PAL Block? There it is. Okay. There we go.
So,
nope, we're here. We're good. Good. Yay! We all know what a good clap is like.
So now we need to get the suits, and I know I can't go there because I don't have my speedy shoes yet.
Yeah, I think unless we're doing the Boss Rush games, Boss Rush podcast, I think we're just gonna start going exclusively to Mixer again. I like it better,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it'll just be easier for us to focus on one platform and stick to it. I don't know. I just feel like it'll be better, easier for us at least.
Okay, so that I can't go to just yet. Yes. So we got to get the next suit, and then we got to fight. One of my favorite bosses from this game that I love to fight and everything. Let's see. Got this. Yeah. Okay. So we got the suit. Now we just gotta get
the suit. Are you using the Xenoblade controller, Ed?
Yes, I am.
Nice.
So yes, I plan on getting some Joy-Cons real soon. Hooking them up to my Switch.
Yay!
So it's funny. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm probably gonna get some new Joy-Cons in the next couple weeks or so. Like I don't want the drift to happen.
Right.
So, anyways, continue.
And
Sorry.
uh, there was, I think I talked about this. There was a Retronauts episode that said which was better, Super Metroid or Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Um, I can't. I hope we do Symphony of the Night. I can't wait to get through that game for the retro
Yeah,
show.
I mean, let's see. It's available on PlayStation 4, right? And we can do the controller shares thing on there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll be able to pull that off. Like I have it backwards compatible on Xbox One, but I don't think you can do a controller share thing on there, can you?
That I don't know. I have to research it because it takes you to the Xbox 360 screen when it
Right.
comes to that game.
Right, so it might be something we have to do with the PlayStation 4 to do that, because I actually think that would be an interesting game to do after Super Metroid,
Yes.
just to talk about how these two games really influenced this genre specifically.
Yes.
I mean, it's called Metroidvania for a reason, and it's those two games that they're called for. You know,
Well, yeah, because Metroid,
the original Metroid's pretty linear, I would say. I mean, it's open-ish, but it's it's pretty linear, I would say. You know,
yes.
and then I still think Castlevania 2 does a little bit of what Symphony of the Night does, but just not as well because it's on the NES and it's the first time, and it does some weird things. But I think Symphony of the Night is really the game that solidified this genre, right? So.
Right. It normally it transferring the whole Castlevania game, so it kind of, because Symphony is more of a RPG style of a game compared to what Metroid is.
Yeah.
It's just that they both share something different.
Mm-hmm.
Like you get energy tanks for this, and you're limited to a certain amount of energy tanks. Where Castlevania, you could pretty much go all the way up to like 99, 999 worth of energy.
Yeah.
I mean, you could get that through, gaining life jars or getting life jars or just like normal grinding. Like, say during the night, you have to grind for your powers for some stuff.
Yeah.
And other times you could buy them. Other times you could buy them, but it just has a whole different design to it.
Yeah.
Why do I feel like I'm forgetting something? But people, when they think of Metroidvania, they think more of Castlevania and less of this game, which is I can understand. I kind of feel like Castlevania. I think Castlevania does it okay, where Super Metroid, of course, this is an inspiration, but it kind of felt like it does it better. Because
Yeah.
you don't have to grind in this game like you do in Castlevania.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's like, when people talk about sorry, there's a meme I just laughed at, and I'm sure it's pretty old, but it's still really funny. It's a picture. It says, it's two pictures of Donatello with his bow staff, and the left picture says 4-year-old me with an empty wrapping paper tube, and he's holding the bow staff, and then it's literally the same picture on the right side. It says 34-year-old me with an empty wrapping paper tube. Oh man, the internet's great sometimes.
Yes.
Bad most of the time, but great the other times. So, but anyways, what were we talking about? I feel like Nintendo always eases you into the simplicity of a genre, right? Like, open world kind of RPGs, kind of, we talk about Zelda kind of being that originator, but it's not a traditional RPG in a sense, where like you're grinding for experience to get new moves and stuff. You kind of find the stuff through the dungeons and stuff, right? Like, and like I would argue that Zelda's not really an RPG, but some people do, and it's the same way with Metroid though, where like this kind of eases you into that genre in a way where like you're really just finding upgrades throughout the level. Whereas, Castlevania, you're really grinding for that experience, and so it's interesting to see companies take different takes on genres, right? Like it's just, I don't know, man. It's just really fun to see this kind of stuff evolve, and Symphony of the Night is another hole in my gaming history, right? Like that's the point of this show, really, to an extent, is to get through some of the gaming holes. But it's I've always had a fond appreciation of Metroid games and Metroidvanias as a whole. I really want to I want man, I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want anymore, man. I want all the games. I want to play all the games all the time, and but it's funny because we've had this discussion before too, right? Where like the only Metroidvania games that I actually like playing are the Metroid ones, which is weird because like I'm sure if I just sat down and took the time to play Symphony of the Night or Bloodstained or some of these other ones, it would actually be fun. I'm like, I don't know, man. And it's not like I'm a purist about it or anything either. I just, for some reason, I just love the Metroid games.
Yeah, it's weird that you mentioned Zelda because there was a game called, and I always keep talking about this, Alondra, by Working Designs, and that's in the same like vein of Zelda game, like The Legend of Zelda, but they consider that as an RPG. And it's so weird to be like, why would you consider it an RPG and not an adventure game like The Legend of Zelda? And some people said because it feels like a traditional role playing game. It's overhead. You attack with different weapons, and sorry about that. And because of who it comes from, of course, like I said earlier, that makes it an RPG. I'm like, well, Nintendo make RPGs, but they were just like, no, that's not one of them. It's just so weird.
Yeah, it's always going to be weird, man. I don't know. Genres are so weird nowadays anyway, where like literally every game is an RPG,
Pretty much.
Like even games like Madden and stuff are RPGs at this point, Like when you play through a franchise mode, your players, you fill up bars and they progressively get better throughout the season and throughout like the seasons and stuff. Like they just get better, and it's an RPG. It's like every game has RPG elements in it now. It might not be like traditional old school Final Fantasy RPGs, but there's RPGs. So
once you reach a certain number from experience, you go to that next level and get stronger.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, jeez. That just looks really awful.
Well, with the freezing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Uh, so I don't know. I think that, I mean, obviously we just did a Link to the Past, and that game is such an extraordinary. Like, even if you went to go play it today, right? Like, I think people would still hold it in high regards to in today's standards. Like, I have no nostalgia for that game, and I love Zelda, but like, my love for Zelda didn't come until Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, actually, because that, I mean, it's funny because I beat Majora's Mask before I beat Ocarina of Time. I mean, we've heard this story 100 times on these shows, right? Where like, I didn't know that you could go back in time with Ocarina of Time.
Oh wow!
So that was a big dumb point in my gaming history.
Quick question though: is the time thing in Ocarina of Time, is that the same tempo as Breath of the Wild?
What do you mean?
The tempo, I think, is the tempo of time.
Oh yeah, it's the same. It's supposedly the same temple. But there's elements of every game in there. There's elements of Skyward Sword in there if you look hard enough. Like, there's all kinds of things in that game that reference other Zelda games, which I love.
Okay.
Oh man, dude, we're gonna have to talk about expansion pack, and if we're gonna bring it back and really dive deep into some stuff, because I still really want to talk about this Breath of the Wild theoretical trilogy that we that we made up on an episode of Nintendo Power Block.
Dude, literally, so people who are watching, last week me and Corey was talking about some anticipated games.
Yeah, I think it was on episode 181 if you're watching this later, of Nintendo Power Block.
And one of our big ones we came up with were where we knew it was Breath of the Wild, and it's the Hellblade conversation. Metroid Hellblade conversation all over again. But I literally was getting excited because Corey talked about doing a trilogy of not Metroid Prime, of the Breath of the Wild series. And just the ideas we was bouncing back and fleshing stuff out, I was just like, I want that. Like, it sounded so good, dude. I was just like, how do I get this? I don't think I can go here yet. Yeah, I can. But I gotta go the other way. And we just had, like, where they could take this story. Like Corey mentioned about parties, and I'm thinking like a 4-person party. Is it 2-player online with Nintendo Online? One person play as Zelda, one person play as Link. Could it have a Stranding element to it where all our games are connected and stuff? Like, we were going a lot of places with it, and yeah, that thing was still on my mind, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I think we could have a really interesting conversation, a long form conversation about it, right? Like, I still want to have that conversation at some point. It's something that I really want to do a deep dive on, and we will. We'll find time to do it. I don't know, maybe next week or so, but yeah, it's definitely something that is super fascinating to talk about, especially since they want to keep using the engine and keep using the assets that they've built, and so they don't have to do a new game or a new engine every 6 or 7 years, as games get more complicated and more asset heavy and things. Like, I think they want to use the engine as long as they possibly can, and I think a trilogy, I think 3 games is a nice kind of round number to use an engine and stuff. So, it's my take, at least.
Well, I kind of want to ask you, and I know we don't really talk about engines and stuff like that, but Unreal Engine 4, when do you think 5 will come out?
I don't. When Fortnite stops being successful. I mean, they have one of the most popular games running on that engine. You know, I don't think they would make a new engine and eliminate their most successful game, right? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, Unreal 3 was so successful that lasted about, what, a decade? So, I don't know. I think honestly, when Fortnite stops being so successful is when they'll consider bringing out a new engine. And this engine is you can update it so easily. Well, they can, and then push it out to developers and stuff. But you know what I mean? Like, they do so much with this engine already that, you know, why would you need another engine at this point? So
I wonder what would it take for Epic to go literally out of business.
oh jeez, they're not going out of business anytime soon, dude. Plus, like, besides the money that they get from Fortnite, they literally get a percentage of every game that sells that uses Unreal Engine. So
Right.
I don't know. And for everybody to stop using Unreal Engine and stop playing Fortnite, I guess. I don't know.
But I always wonder, just like, what what does it take for y'all to like literally lose money and stuff? Because like
I
the
mean,
Epic
they
Store-
make more money in a day than most companies would love to make in a year. You know, they have so much money. I don't know. I just think Fortnite is like this really big, crazy phenomenon, and I know people like to hate on it and stuff, but it's such a. I do think Fortnite is such a unique and special game in a way. You know, it's simple enough. It's like the art style is very inviting. You know, it's easy enough to understand. Like, they do so many cool things with seasons and weekly costumes and stuff like that. They do a lot of cool collaborations. You know, they just did the Birds of Prey collaboration with DC, and they did the Thanos thing, and you know, they did the whole Star Wars thing and the costumes for Star Wars and stuff, which I almost bought, and I don't even play Fortnite, but I don't know. I think Fortnite is so unique and special in a way, and I'm not even like I'm not even like a huge Fortnite fan. I have friends that play it. You know, my little cousin plays it. Like, I don't know, man. It's just it's a phenomenon for a reason, and I don't know. I think Epic could stop Fortnite tomorrow, and they would be able to survive for a decade on the money that they've put out, especially because like they have the store now, and I mean, not that like it's a great store or anything, but I think people use it. You know, like I mean, I don't see them. I don't. Besides the loud minority that says the store sucks, right? Like, I think people think it's fine to use. You know, so I don't know. To answer your question, I don't know if Epic could ever really go out of business, to be honest with you. They've just done so much, and they're so many people use Unreal, you know, and the fact that like they give developers more money, and they give people incentives to use Unreal, and the fact that they backpaid developers like 5 or 6 years worth of development costs once the store took off. Like, I don't know. I know people have issues with Epic because they have Chinese investments and stuff, but like I think that they do a lot of good things, and you know, I like Epic. You know, they gave me Gears of War, so I'm fine with it. What a great game, Gears of War. Great series.
Great series, frustrated on higher difficulties.
Yeah. Great series on normal. Infuriating series on anything else.
That's exactly.
Dude, I used to play Gears on Insane for fun. I'm like, why did I used to do this?
I hated Gears. I did not like the cover system.
I mean, I think there are better games out there now. Like we were talking about The Division and how it's $3 this week. I think The Division is the cover system and just the movement in general is way better in The Division than it is in Gears. But I still love Gears because it's Gears. So
yeah. It's funny. I think it was 3 years ago. 3 years ago. I literally not 3, 4 years ago. Sorry. I spent the whole summer playing Gears 1 to 3. Because it was just like, you know what, I want to play this game. I want to give it a fair shake. And when I played it, the first time I played Gears was on the 360, and I think I didn't like that. I didn't like that controller, and it was some of this like I don't know. It felt like mechanic wise, it felt clunky. But when I had bought it when I got my Xbox One.
The Ultimate Edition of 1?
No, it's, yeah. It was the 1 terabyte with like
was it,
3 games.
Was it the one that came with like 1, 2, 3 and Judgment?
Yes.
That bundle? Yeah.
Yeah, it came with Ori and the Blind Forest, Gears of War, the collection, 1 and Judgment. And then it came out. It had the Rare collection on it.
That's a good bundle.
Yeah.
Man,
so
that's such a good bundle.
Yeah, and it was only $300 that I paid for it.
Yeah.
Take it. Oh, I don't got the. I gotta get that. The bombs. Yeah, so I ended up getting that bundle, and that was when that was the fat. I think this is the. That was the fat Xbox, and I still to this very day I like that design of the Xbox. And then I see the S, and I was just like, "Ooh, the S is better." And you know the OX looks good. Every time I see the OX in the store, I'd be like, "I have enough money to buy this, but I don't need it."
Yeah, I mean, ever since I bought that new TV, like, I'm like, yeah, this was definitely worth the price I paid for it.
Yeah, see, and I was gonna go get me a 4K, and I did it. I'll probably do it next check. I'll save up my little ducats and get one.
Well, Ed, we've been going for like a half hour. You wanna just pause it right here so we can start the next intro for the next episode?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, so if you're watching live on stream, we're going to keep going for another half hour or so. If you are watching on YouTube, I want to thank you for watching. And you can catch the Retro Game Show every Thursday right here on youtube.com/BossRushGames and BossRushGames.com. Remember to download Nintendo Power Block, our Nintendo podcast. And we will see you next time on the Retro Game Show.
Bye, everybody.